John McDonald has thousands of 50s and 60s rock and roll albums in his home, but it's not the number of albums the retired postman owns that makes him the focus of this month's Making a Difference. It's what he does with those albums.
I'm actually playing a 45 in here. So
Every Saturday night at the same time,
fired up.
John McDonald takes his listeners back in time.
I'm Rockin' John, and it's time for rock and roll.
Take out the papers and the trash.
His show on WORT-FM features the music radio stations played all the time when John was young,
Don't you give me no dirty looks.
but rarely played today.
One of the greatest lines in a record ever.
You ain't got time to take a ride. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Rockin' John describes his show as
Public service for oldies fanatics.
he started spinning records here at WORT way back when they were still records.
Well, I tell them I was on the radio before CDs were invented. 41 years.
In 1975, John answered WORT's ad in the paper looking for DJs.
I took a bag of 45s in and showed it to the staff, and they said, "You got a show." We didn't have a building yet. And here's a single, a 45. I bought this back in 1968. It's a band from Chicago called The Mods. This is Soul Drippin'.
Just about every Saturday night since, his unforgettable voice
And you're listening to I Like It Like That with me, Rockin' John.
has graced WORT's airwaves.
I tell people I went to a cheap broadcasting school, and my voice ended up sounding like this.
Over all of those 41 years,
Hello, Wart.
all of those Saturday nights,
Your request is coming up in about 5 minutes.
Rockin' John McDonald hasn't been paid a dime. He's a volunteer.
It's work putting it together, but this is fun. And we heard Gene's on the jukebox in 1985, and if Gene isn't on the jukebox, he should be.
Playing the music of his youth always seems to make Rockin' John feel like a kid again.
How old are you, John?
71.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I tell people I'm 17 in reverse. I've always wondered what's going to happen, you know, when people my age ain't here anymore.
But Rockin' John will be here every Saturday night.
So I can't do it no more. I'm going to keep on rolling. And it's time to take a trip through the Rockin' John Time Tunnel. How about a bit of Motown?
Well, get this. Last Saturday night was show number 1,950 for Rockin' John. That's a lot of Saturday nights over those 41 years.